And so with that being said, like paying for dates, I found that there have been men that have asked me for things that have been things that you should not be asking for on first and second and third dates. And it's egregious as fuck.
This is boy Loves Do the Most, Talk That Shit TV. I have a segment called Talk That Shit right now. I got my lovely friend of mine, Miss Shannon.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
And we finna sit down and talk some shit about some real things and some real topics. So, chime in afterwards. Like I say, you can tune in to my YouTube page at Talk That Shit TV 2022. You can tune in to Facebook, Talk That Shit TV 2021. You can go to Instagram and type in Talk That Shit TV 2022 with all underscores in between each word. And like I say, this is a segment we started called Talk That Shit. I'm actually gonna just take off with it. And Shannon is my first guest. And she has a lot of shit that she would love to address.
I am ready to unpack and unload on this dating issue. So basically what we've been discussing is first dates being simple. It is amazing again to me that people expect you to take them on $200 to $300 dates. Even $100 date to me is crazy for a first date. I have taken people out, and it is insane to me that you would think, okay, so here's some simple things. Women, it's okay to pay for first dates. Don't pay for the second. It makes no sense. If he's interested after that first date, then it'll be reciprocated. I found that, you'll go on a first date too, and men will say that women do this, but men, y'all do it too. Ordering shit that you know you wouldn't order if you were paying for it for yourself. Just simple things. Man, there's a code of decorum that goes out when it comes to dating. And a part of that is don't ask somebody for things that you wouldn't want them to ask you for on the first day out.
Exactly.
Even these women out here with I need to pay for this and ask you for a couple of dollars here or there within the first 2 or 3 days. That's egregious as fuck too. And it's weird as hell too. And there's no way that you should be asking for those things just to get to know somebody. There's nothing wrong with going to a coffee house. There's nothing wrong with just sitting in a park and talking to somebody. Why would I want to pay that much money for somebody and I don't even know you? I don't know you. I don't know if I like you. I have no clue, Like, tell them about your experiences, Los, because you've had some aggressive women. Like,
yeah, the problem is a lot of men and women do not know how to date. They see the stuff that they see on TV and thinking that this is the way of dating, but not knowing that what you see on TV is just that, TV. People, behind the scenes, they dress up the situation to make it what we look at to appear to be as right, but 9 times out of 10 it's not. Like, everybody is not you can't sit down and base everybody as quote unquote 5-star meals on the first date.
Well, and my homegirl just said, so somebody just chimed in, Sarah, and that's a great point. She's like, she's not trying to pay for the first date, but she would gladly pay for the second one if the first date goes well.
Of course.
Here's the thing. I feel like if you like someone enough, don't be afraid to approach them, but don't take my kindness as a weakness. Right. I'm finding it that men see that when women pay for things on the first date, that they found somebody that has an open purse that they can use. And that is insane to me. Right. If you want somebody to be kind to you, then don't go on trying to abuse that or use that as your free, man, this ain't free lunch line. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't the free lunch line. Y'all literally be coming at, and this is me. I'm gonna speak this specifically to me. Y'all be coming at me like I'm the dude and you the chick, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. So then you get discouraged. Guys will say, "Oh, I never meet women who pay for dates." The reason why is because when we do, y'all take our kindness as a weakness. You look at it as somebody that you can use as opposed to somebody who's truly showing interest in you.
Because a lot of people. I look at it like this too. We in 2023. I'm not gonna say everybody.
Right.
I'm gonna say most. Most people were brought up in mom and pop household where mom and dad was in the household.
Right.
But you had some people that felt a certain way about themselves to where they didn't want to look at what mom and pop did in order
See,
to
but
build
that's
the
my
foundation.
example, right?
Yeah.
So my parents are my biggest example of what a successful marriage and relationship looks like.
Right.
It may not be that way for everybody else, and I'm not saying that, but you got to find people that you can take good relationship examples from, man.
Exactly.
Y'all be looking at these people on TV and all these random Atlanta love and hip hop relationships, and it's like relationship goals. Y'all don't know what the hell be going on in those people's homes.
And I think everybody that's over 40 should know. They should know what it takes to establish a relationship with that person.
Let's just talk reciprocation, right? Mm-hmm. So, Los, okay, I take you on a date.
Mm-hmm.
I take you on a first date. Tell me what would be the next step, or what it should look like as the next step if a man is interested. Because what I'm finding is that most times we think people are interested, and more times they're not interested in what we think they're interested in. Mm-hmm. They got like an end game that's not, the same as yours, right?
Right.
So I take you out on the first date. I pay, right? Mm-hmm. The next date goes how?
If we go out on the first date, I'm paying.
Right.
We're gonna get that straight right away. I'm paying. I mean, that's really common ground. That's common ground a man's supposed to cover. Anytime we go on the first date, a man should pay first. Because at the same time, because at the same time it's like this. A man is trying to get to know that woman. And also he's also acquiring that safety zone for that woman. So when that man pays for that date, the woman can actually sit back and say, well, I can pretty much learn how to be comfortable with this man because he's doing manly things. Well,
and he looks like the provider, right? So if you're looking for something and somebody has these qualities, like, it makes sense. Now, I'm going to tell you, okay, so you go from that point, right? Mm-hmm. You go from the point of you take her out on the first date. How does she know that you are interested wholly? Like, what signs do you give out?
Well, the first date is really you having fun on the first date.
Right.
You're having fun. You're not gonna really get to know that person maybe after the third or the fourth date. It all depends on.
And it's all about the conversation in between and everything.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. But that first date, you want to have fun because you want to just get to know a person and you want to see what they like to do to have fun. So basically, you're having fun and getting to know that person and learn that person and the stuff that they like to do to have fun.
So then once you know all that, you go into the second date. You know what I'm saying? What cues do you give her to let her know, okay, I'm digging you on a note that I want to take this past the first date and I'm interested in you, or I'm looking to try to pursue you?
I'm gonna say after the third, fourth, or the fifth date.
Okay.
Because you still getting to know that person on the second date.
Agreed.
So you didn't. It's like, okay, you got three types of dates when you date somebody. The first date, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna figure out, okay, what it is this person like to do to have fun, and you're gonna do that. The second date is probably gonna be somewhat of a smaller scale, like restaurant, maybe like a bar or a dive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're still getting to know each other.
Right, and you don't need to spend
a big check yet. So you at a dive or a coffee bar or maybe another place where the opposite sex, your date like to have fun.
Right.
Y'all gonna share each other a fun experience in the first 2 dates. The third date, I wouldn't even consider the third date that big date because y'all have fun on both sides. So now it's just time to sit down and just have a conversation. It's time to have.
So then that's the meeting of the minds. So at that point, then it's okay. You know what? Now we kind of establishing some stuff.
Right. That's
so this is the beginning of establishing.
Right.
So that's the thing. Like, what I'm noticing is that people will go past all these like little just they make these mute points about things that don't matter, right? Mm-hmm. So Here's one thing that I do notice that will keep you from being able to have a good second, third, and or fourth date, whatever. I find that people always like to talk about their old past relationships. If you have not healed from your past traumas, that should not have anything to do with, nor should you present that to the other person, because I find like hurt women. We do this, and we do this all the time. We'll say, well, you know what? I don't want you to break my heart like the last person broke my heart. Or in my last relationship, they cheated, so I don't like cheaters. Like, man, you don't have to say any of that.
Fear of change.
Well, and it don't even have to be fear of change. The idea is that you don't have to lay all your problems out to the person that you're trying to pursue to make it a point of what you've gone through to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and men do it. Yeah. Oh, well, you know, the chick that I was with before, man, I do not want to hear about that. And I've had first dates where people have literally talked to me about their past, either trauma and or transgressions. Man, that has nothing to do with anybody. And when you're trying to get to know someone, it is such a turnoff for me to hear about what other people did to you and what you don't want me to do to you. Because basically what you're telling me is you think I'm like them. And I'm not.
It should never be brought up. The only time, I'm going to say this right here. You're never supposed to bring up your past when you're going on a date, because that's a deal breaker. Like, you might,
if it's relevant, cool, but if it's not relevant, man,
no, it's a no. It's a no go. It's a no go. And the fact that you bringing up your past on a new date, that is just so tacky. That's so
man, it's super tacky. And I've had okay, we'll talk about date experience. Like, I'll give y'all an example. So I took this guy out on a date a few years back. It was like, I thought everything was cool. Here it is. I'm stepping out my comfort zone, deciding to pay for a date, take a guy on a date, right? Because y'all swear women don't do that. So I want to be different. Set a precedence. I take him out to this really nice restaurant. We get to the restaurant, we sit down, we talk, and the first part of conversation is him telling me about this other person. And I'm like, well, you need to go and go be with that person then. Because what I'm not going to do is be sitting here and talking to you about somebody that clearly you miss this individual, or you have some hang up, or you have not healed. Man, I don't want to be there for that. Now I'm mad about the money I spent. And I'm mad about sitting here in bad company, because what I wouldn't do is I'm not going to come to the table and tell you about another man. Men don't want to hear about other men. They don't.
At all.
They don't. And it gets real crazy. Well, let me just say this, and this don't have anything to do with any of that, y'all. I'm just going to run around on a completely different note. Men, if women take y'all out on dates, tip for it.
At least cover the tip.
It's a customary thing, man.
At least cover the tip.
For.
At
like,
least cover the tip.
If I'm covering a whole meal and I'm going out my way to make sure that you're comfortable, and it isn't the idea that you have it. The idea is that it's I'm trying to think of the right word.
Or if you gotta, or if she's paying for the date, and let's say y'all somewhere and you gotta pay for parking, at least pay for the parking.
Certain things, because it just makes it seem like this is a group effort as opposed to a me effort, and what you can get from me, and it also shows that you care.
Right.
I just feel consideration. That's what it is. Consideration is important, man. Folks be wanting to feel some consideration about what they doing. So like, show them that. And then another thing, it's like, you know, one thing I found is that people will always say, oh, well, dating in Atlanta is so harsh. No, it's not.
No, it's not. You make it hard because of your selfish ways.
Whatever it is you got going on that makes you decide that, you know, dating is bad, I guarantee you is more personal than it is the people.
It's more personal.
If you consistently are having issues out here in these streets, man, you might need to go back and do some self-reflection.
That's right.
I find this oftentimes that we do not look at ourselves as the individual that's creating the issue. We want to see our problems in other people and say, oh, well, they didn't treat me this way. Did you tell them? One thing I know is that being upfront is super important. And I try to be very upfront when I go on dates with people. Tell people what it is that you're looking for. Another thing, let's talk about the whole sex before and then you want to get to know people. Man, y'all blowing me with that shit. I don't know what it is about y'all wanting to be physical with people before y'all actually get to know people, and then you want to decide now that you want to be in a relationship or get to know them. It's too fucking late. They already got what they came for.
Yeah.
And
sex on the first night, that's a deal breaker. Like if she brings up sex on the first night and if it happens,
right,
I done basically just got what I wanted.
And so if you do that, okay, so this is a man telling y'all this, ladies.
I done basically got what I wanted. Now we can sit down, we can conversate afterwards. But
do you actually consider a person that you sleep with within the first 2 to 3 dates somebody that is a person that you're really trying to be with? Now I know that it happens. Now look, y'all, I know that it happens. Yeah, man, that shit is like 1%. That shit is like 1% that you have sex with somebody and that you just fall in love and that it works out for the rest of your life.
And you have some women that just want just that.
And then we regret it after the fact, though. That's the thing, because women, when we're doing these things, we find that we have to have an emotional tie to an individual. Now, clearly, you know, sex can be a carnal thing and it can be completely physical or whatever. But I'm finding more times than not, most women be wanting a physical, emotional attachment to the dude, or at least have some type of emotional something with them before they just giving it up.
That's true.
Men are the ones who really can actually do it physically before women can. Exactly. You know?
Yeah.
And you got some women out here, and that's another thing. Women, y'all be out here acting like dudes. Don't be mad when they treat you like one.
That's right.
I have noticed that has been probably one of the craziest things ever.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You know what? And it's true. Okay, so somebody just said they heard that 2 men said that you know, women, they don't consider those women dating material after they've smashed them.
That's true.
I truly believe that, man. I truly believe that. How can I take you seriously because you came here for the fun first? She didn't
already cut in the cake.
And
before you even tried to bake the cake.
Somebody on here says sex is better when you get to know the person first. Absolutely. Right, of course. Absolutely. Man, an emotional connection is so key. Yeah, it's so key.
Of course. You build that bond. And that's the whole objective of dating.
Well,
you're trying to find that energy. You're trying to read energies. And you're trying to get your energy to react and match it. Yeah, that's the whole objective.
But then here's the thing, though, right? Mm-hmm. You go and you lay up with this individual that you've only known for 24, 48 hours. Right. And I mean, yeah, it may be pleasing for the moment, man. But think about how much better it would be, right? If the connection was there.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes.
Explosive.
Sometimes we want these things, man, that are fleeting feelings. Yep. We want to feel loved. We want to feel wanted, want to feel desired, right? And so we'll take all those things in consideration before and not think about the repercussion of it if we present it beforehand. Yep. You can't live on emotion all the time, man. You just can't. It'll steer you in the wrong direction. Sometimes you actually have to use your head with this shit. Right. And the end game of it is to be booed up. All of us want somebody. Everybody wants companionship. But man, there's a way to go about it.
Chivalry is really dead. I hate to say it. Chivalry is really dead.
But it's so sucky because it would get you so far, man. Open it. Now, I will say, I just recently went out with somebody and there were a lot of car doors being opened, and I so appreciate that. Something as simple as that small kind gesture will go far. Will go so far. And let me tell you something, ladies. Definitely make sure you reach over and open that door too, because they be watching.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you this right here. A Bronx tail.
Bronx tail. You got a Bronx tail. You got a Bronx tail.
If you don't know nothing,
she's a keeper when she unlocks that door and opens that door.
If y'all don't know nothing about the Bronx tail, watch the movie. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Watch the movie and pay attention to what we're trying to tell you. This is the reason why we call it a Bronx tale.
Well, and then the courtship part of it all, like that is a part of it, right? Like, you know, one thing I do, and I'll say this, you know, when I'm dating, I try to make sure that whatever it is, the person that I'm with, like, if it's something simple, if you like, you know, certain candies, or you like, you know, to go to movies or whatever the case, I'm going to try to always please and appease to that side. But you can't do that with somebody you don't know. Y'all be wanting to do all these grand gestures for people that you've only known for like a couple of weeks or what have you, and it don't work.
It don't work.
Now, Brandon, I agree with you on that. Like, sometimes you definitely can lose somebody that's a real friend because the sex happened first. And it totally ruined the aspect of you gaining someone that could be a team member. Right. Like, I've seen sex definitely ruin some great friendships, man.
Yeah, me too.
Some great friendships. But the bigger part is, like, again, it's just so much better when I know you.
That's right.
When you just doing random shit with a random person, that random act becomes empty. And people wonder, like, empty sex is a thing, man. We go out here and we try to fill a hole with dick and pussy. That shit don't work.
Don't work. Especially now we done got older. We done got older. Like, we gotta have substance. We gotta have a meaning now.
Man, say that word again. Sustenance. Sustenance is it's important. Like,
you gotta have it.
All this empty, shallow shit, you know, I realize, like, a lot of people, you know, you eat with your eyes first, and that's totally okay. Like, I hear a lot of people talk about just, you know, women with the height situation. I don't want to date a dude under 6 feet. Men don't want to date some girl that's fat. Everybody has a preference, but man, you take those preferences and you also have to weigh in so many other things. Personality is key. How a person treats you. Right. I found that there are some things that would be negotiable once I got to know a person that weren't negotiable when I very first met them.
Of course. We all got substance, but the problem is that we rush into something without allowing our substance to show who we really are as people.
Well, what you think about this? I hear a lot of people saying, well, I'm not going to show anybody I'm wife or husband material, but that's what the fuck you dating for,
that's
right?
That's the purpose. We should.
Yeah, why
I look at it like
that's a wholly weird thing to say. You're not gonna show nobody your potential. I need to know what your potential is, man. Right. This is like you present your resume for a job.
Because we're to a point now in life at our age, we should really be past the girlfriend/boyfriend material. We as people should be working up to that point to be husband material and wife material.
Well, and if some people, if that's not what you're trying to be, that's fine. Everybody don't desire to be a husband or a wife, but play your part accordingly. If you are trying to be that, there's nothing wrong with showing somebody those qualities while dating. You probably should.
And maturity plays a big part now since we're older.
It is definitely childish behavior.
Yeah, it is. Maturity plays a big part now. We're older. So, you know, it's okay for us to, you know, dress fly like young folks. We might pick up some of the lingo that these young folks are out here putting out.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we are older and we're more mature adults now. We're supposed to.
Well, and I mean, govern yourself like that. Like, you know, okay, so I find this crazy. Like, you know, have conversations, and women do it too. Let me just say this. Everything that I'm saying is not one-sided. It goes for both sexes.
Both sides. Yeah.
So I've seen instances where women talk about sex too quickly in conversation, but I've also seen where men talk about sex too quickly in conversation. Like, folks, we already know that that's what we're here for. We're attracted to one another 9 times out of 10, again, because you eat with your eyes first. But like, god dang, man, nobody wants to hear about how you desire them within the first 2 and 3 and 4 conversations. Like, relax. Relax. Take it one day at a time. And
you're building that puzzle. You done already got the actual copy of the puzzle and what it's going to look like. Now you just got to put the pieces together. That's all it is. But everybody want to rush into the completed puzzle where you ain't took time out to study each piece and place each piece where it needs to go.
Well, see, and then even on studying, so Brandon Stovall just said when you're older, you want to learn from the person first because you don't want to exchange with the wrong energies.
That's true.
Man, people don't even get to know you to know what your energy frequency is like.
Exactly.
And it's so crazy. And then later on, you be so disappointed, like, oh, well, they ain't treat me right. But did you know them?
Did you know? Exactly. Did you know? Did you take time out to actually understand and to read this energy that was presented to you? Did you take time out to just dissect it?
Man, because there are flags that are given. Y'all be talking about these red flags all the time. Folks throw flags on the plate on a regular basis. And sometimes we choose not to see it. Man, I done had dudes even like, it's just, it befuddles the mind because you get these people that will come to you with these pre-written agendas, even sometimes based on what they see about you online. Folks will look at your page and size you up and determine whether or not they can use you or not.
That's right.
And it's so crazy. So when you are trying to date somebody to figure out whether or not they genuine, man, first and seconds is definitely important. Thirds, fourth, fifth, several conversations over, because otherwise, man, you'll end up selling yourself short and finding out that you don't even like this person. You done gave your body to them before you needed to.
Before you needed to, yeah.
Now you regretting that shit too.
Yep.
And I've seen men do it too.
Soul
not
ties.
just women.
Yeah, soul ties.
I'm creating them all over the place. Man,
ties.
it's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them, Sarah. You're absolutely correct.
Dead souls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and
it's
is, you know.
Oh yeah, a bunch of them. Especially now as we get older, because you know everybody then grew up a certain way, and you know the fact that we're older, you do have people out here that have grown up a certain way and haven't learned from their mistakes. So they're just out here.
Well, let's talk about this. So we were talking about earlier, like flags. Like I had somebody give me flags and I wasn't even paying attention to the signs, right? Because, so the person was wholly nice to me. I mean, really nice, totally chivalrous, right? But then you start looking at little things like you've been married twice and you're still alone.
That's a sign. That's a flag.
Right?
Yeah, that's a flag.
Or if you've not been married multiple times, you still within the past few years have not been able to secure a mate and or companion. And, you know, you look at these things, you think to yourself, maybe it's just them. It's not him. No, man, y'all need to make sure that you look at these folks wholly, because if somebody else was keep passing up on them or keep throwing them away, there may be a reason why. There may be a reason why somebody is chunking that man or that woman to the side like that. There may be a reason why. And when me and Los were talking earlier, like at this point, man, a lot of us are overqualified people applying for underqualifying jobs.
Not me. My overqualified worth is going to stay overqualified until that right overqualified
If I ain't right for this job,
finds.
If I ain't right for this job, I ain't right for this job. You know, you get, sometimes you be wondering why you can't please people, man. Sometimes it ain't for you to please everybody. And a person is supposed to come into your life to enhance your life. They're not supposed to be in your life for you to figure out how you can. So whatever it is you deficient in, now they supposed to add to them deficiencies. You got to fix that for yourself. Sometimes we be looking for people to save us. You need to save yourself. Self-preservation is key, man.
You have to.
Y'all be out here looking for people to heal you and to love you among all these things. You need to love yourself among all others. And you need to heal yourself. Don't be looking for other people to do that.
In order for me to interact with you and to show attention to you, you got to show me how confident you are within yourself.
Agreed. But you know, sometimes, and here's the thing, man, you ain't got to lie about it, because what's for you is for you, and what ain't for you ain't for you. You shouldn't have to prove to somebody.
At all.
It gets crazy when you start getting into this rat race of dating where you feel like, you know, you got to consistently prove yourself. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Either you're worthy or you aren't. Either what you have is sufficient or it is not. You shouldn't have to exceed all expectations for a person, man. Like, you ain't got to roll red carpet out for every occasion for a person. Now, if you're a people pleaser, that's fine. But in dating, that shit shouldn't even be a requirement.
That should not be a requirement.
Shouldn't even be a requirement. We should be able to enjoy each other.
That's right.
Unencumbered. And not have to worry about whether or not it's your finances, my finances, what you had in your past.
Finances shouldn't even be in the conversation, period.
But it only is applicable if you dating outside of.
Yeah, but still, that's still tacky. Like, I would never bring up finances when I'm dating. Now, I might ask you your occupation.
I was gonna say it's applicable. To me, it's applicable, because here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to date someone who can't pull their own weight. So when it's applicable, right? Like, I'm not gonna be the person that every time you turn around, I gotta cover everything because you ain't got your shit together. You know what I'm saying? So
you ain't gonna let yourself get to that point, no way.
Well, but see, that's the thing about dating with standards, right? Folks will be thinking it's crazy for you to not want to date someone. Man, you have every right to not want to date someone if they are not qualified.
Yeah, you can always say no. You're not entitled to nobody.
And another thing is, you know, ownership. I think that we find a whole lot of comfort in titles. Them titles don't mean
nothing.
I can tell you this as somebody who was married 15 years with the same person for 19 years. The titles mean absolutely nothing. We get to a point where we get so caught up in titles. You want to know who you are to someone. You are who they show you they are. They'll show you exactly who you are to them.
The first time.
The label don't even mean shit. You could be white and still get treated like fucking shit. So that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean nothing.
It doesn't. And I know many people who are not married but have been together for years and years and years based on the precedent that they respect and love one another, and that was good enough for them. The idea is that don't make people push you outside of what's for you. That's all I'm saying. When I date, I don't date down. If I do date down, I know it's an educated fucking choice.
And then another thing too with dating, go for what you want. Shoot that shot.
Nothing wrong with that.
Shoot that shot.
Even for something that seems like it's ascertainable. Just because somebody don't make what you make don't mean that they outside of your dating scope. Exactly. That's another thing. I don't know what that's about. Because I've seen people who Prince and Pompous date. You know what I mean? Like
everybody manages their money differently. Everybody lives differently. So you can find a person that works at a random Walmart and they doing damn good.
But they might be fitting for you, whereas the motherfucker who is the white collar dude who makes millions may not be fitting for you. Exactly. It just depends. I just want people to date with respect and ethics, man. Like I feel like y'all ain't losing no respect and no ethics out here.
And be confident when you go on that date. Tell yourself I'm the shit. Tell yourself you look good. All of that, because that plays a part. A man loves a woman that is confident within their self. They can stand there as a woman. They can present themselves as a woman. They know that they're sexy without doing too much.
And likewise, women like confident men.
Of course.
Women love confident men.
That's a big part.
Well, and then everybody's saying know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge of yourself is wholly important because if you know yourself, you know what you stand for and you know what you won't stand for. You know?
And that's what makes us unique as people. Supposed to make us unique as people.
And another thing too, man, don't be discouraged. I came on here honestly to vent because I have had a rash of weird interactions with people. And I'm, at this point where I'm feeling like, okay, dating in my 40s is not what I thought it was going to be. And it's definitely not, but it also isn't bad. And I want to say that and make that emphatically clear. Dating is not bad. I have enjoyed this journey. However, I feel like we just need to put a few things out there. Like, y'all, don't put all these high-ass expectations out on first interactions with people. All this unnecessary pressure. It shouldn't be all this pressure to be able to get to know somebody, man. It shouldn't be.
Like I said, we're in our 40s. 9 times out of 10, most of us in our 40s should already be established with the things that we need. Already.
Ain't that the truth?
We should be established with the things that we need.
So then the person that comes in can just enhance.
Enhance. That's what it's all about. Enhance.
I feel like in relationships, even with the pursuit of relationships, we put so much pressure, not just on other people, but on ourselves, on the things that we want, the things that we expect, and the things that we expect out of people.
Right.
Most times I find out if you go in with lesser expectations and just more of what you won't put up with and just allow things to flow, man, it goes a lot better. It goes a lot better.
And fellas, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't mean to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. Fellas over 40, listen, we know we're getting older. Get your health together.
Yeah.
Get your health together.
Check them dinkies, man. Them dinkies be needing to be checked.
Yeah. Look, we too old to be walking around here with that wee syndrome.
And out here getting out coochie. Yeah. Some of y'all dudes be out here getting these women coochie. Wee syndrome. Cool, man.
That wee syndrome is a no-no.
Don't do that.
Go to the herb store, get the proper herbs you need to help.
And I will give you something to say. Let's tell them. Tomcat Ali is a great one.
Maca is a good one.
Maca is amazing. Both of these are good for men and women. L-arginine, L-theanine. Yes.
And ginkgo biloba, all of that.
Man, listen.
I can put a actual potion together, and I can send y'all everything y'all need to take on a daily basis to just
and just so you know, some of the things that we're talking about actually help with depression. They help with anxiety PTSD.
Yep. It sure do.
Black seed bitters are excellent, Brandon. Absolutely.
Of course.
Man, there are so many things that we can do to kind of get ahead of this. And I say this to say that, you know, at one point in time with because a lot of y'all already know about my lupus and stuff like that. Like I had an issue where my libido definitely was kind of waning for a second, and the maca and the Tonkat Ali definitely. Man, I am back on point. I am back to my Scorpio self. Yeah. And like I say, those are good for men and for women. Yeah. But one of the things too, man, if y'all going out here with these brazen attempts, you know, when you're dating to go out here and ask for all these things, make sure you can get the same shit you ask for.
Right.
I find that a lot of y'all ask for things you can't even give people yourself. Yeah. And that's crazy.
Digging yourself
that's
in
real
a hole.
Crazy.
Digging yourself in a hole.
You know, like don't come to me looking for things that you definitely don't already know that you can give yourself. That's wild. Don't come shopping in my closet. That's wild.
No, man. And know who you are dating.
Take the time out.
Person.
Take the time out to get to know these folks.
Ask questions.
Man, ask 1,000 questions. This shit is an interview. It is an interview.
And the person that's getting the question asked, give them the right answer the first time so they won't find out nothing down the road to put a wedge between y'all.
Another thing too, man, keep your personal business off social media. I've realized like most thriving relationships thrive away from the prying eyes of people on social media that can add to whatever it is you got going on and give their opinion. Everybody's opinion don't matter in your business
at all,
and definitely not people who you don't even talk to and or see on a regular basis.
That's right.
What I'm also noticing is like it's crazy because a lot of these men apply so much pressure, and women, we do it too, but because we've definitely seen women do it too. Yeah. We got examples of that.
Yes.
But there are some men out here that apply some crazy pressure, man. Y'all make women uncomfortable with that. You know, sometimes we just want to go in knowing that you really just do want to get to know us for who we are and not what's in our damn drawers. If that's what you thinking, keep it to yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, we looked at you and knew whether or not we were going to give it to you within the first 5 to 20 minutes.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. What men don't understand is when a woman sees a man for the first time, she already got it in her mind what she want to do with that man if they pursue each other.
Absolutely.
Already
y'all be coming out here with your shit in your hand sometime. That shit be strange, man. You don't gotta do all of that. You don't gotta do all of that. Like it gets real weird. And women, stop throwing your shit at these folks. Y'all don't have to throw your shit at these men, man. It's 8 billion people on the planet now. Not 7.9 as of last year. It's 8.1 billion people on the planet. Man, there's somebody out there that you ain't gotta show your titty to and or your cooch in order for them to pay you some attention.
That's it.
You don't. I done stopped worrying about selling people sex. There's enough sex being sold out here that I don't have to sell it to you.
Sex sells
I ain't got to sell it to you.
Sex sells every day.
I want somebody who actually wants to get to know me. You know what I'm saying? What's here and not what's down here, because all that other should have come to follow. Let me show you what my world is like. Right. Man, take your time. Like, if you got to do this shit 50,000 times, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
That's all right.
It's okay. Whether you had to do it when you were younger or you are newly being introduced into dating again, it is okay. Take your time.
Find what's going to fit you. Like I say, you're a rare breed. You're unique. So you stand out. You got to find...
To the one that's looking for you, you for sure stand out.
Yeah, you stand out. So you got to find what's going to match not just your fly overall physically, but your fly emotionally,
mentally,
and your fly mentally. A person that's going to enhance you, not just enhance you, y'all going to enhance each other.
And every facet of your life, man. Every facet of your life. Like, I can remember, honestly, when I got married, I can say that at that point in time, I did marry my best friend.
Me too. I married my best friend.
I had somebody who we knew each other in and out. And so it wasn't a problem. And I never felt like I was overextending myself in that relationship. In these situations when y'all are dating, if you feel like you're overextending yourself, man, y'all need to put that shit out and tell these folks. Because it's been a couple of times I've been asked to overextend myself in situations situations where these aren't people that I've even gotten to know enough to feel comfortable wanting to do a whole lot for. Right. All of that shit comes to follow. If these are your people, you know. That's what right. I'm saying? If they're your people, it'll come to follow. But should nobody be asking you for shit. You know, your time should be, first of all, it is very valuable. Yeah. All of our time is valuable. Don't let nobody waste your time out here in these streets, man.
And then also when you dating, you know, you everybody out here dating to try to find love, which is nothing wrong with that. You'll know when you find love. It's gonna hit you. Because when you find love, it had you do some of the craziest things you least expect to do. The stuff that you always said you would never do, you eventually do it because you really love that person.
Right. And you fall in love with who they are because you've given yourself a chance to get to know who they are. That's right. It's hard to, man, you can fall in love with the very essence of a person's being given the right chemistry and the right amount of time and space to just be able to be and to know. And it's like, I find it crazy because y'all don't be wanting to do that, and it's beauty in that. Yes. It's beauty because you grow together. You know what I'm saying? You grow together, and I find that people don't want to take the time out.
It's like a big pot. You got the soil. When you fall in love with each other, you plant them seeds. You put them seeds in that pot. Guess what?
Beautiful flower at some point.
It's gonna blossom. But guess what? What people don't realize is you're gonna run the bumps in the road, but the love is so strong to where you accept that.
Well, you water it, you nurture it, you feed it,
that's right.
You give it light. There are so many things you do to cultivate that relationship. That's the same thing you're going to do in dating.
Yes.
Same thing you're going to do in dating.
Exactly.
You don't just go out here and, again, just meet a person, you take them out, or y'all go out on a couple of interactions, and now all of a sudden that is the person for you. Yeah. Again, sometimes that happens. That shit is exclusive. 1%.
Yep. Very, very exclusive.
That shit does not instant ramen. Man, y'all be wanting these instant ramen ass relationships, instant ramen love, and that's how it always ends up falling. Yep. That's how it ends up failing miserably, is because y'all want these instantly glued together things, and sometimes shit takes time.
And stop looking at what's on TV. Half of the stuff that's on TV is not real.
It's fucking scripted.
It's scripted.
It's totally scripted. Y'all gotta know that shit is scripted, and that half of that is for your viewing pleasure. So when you saying, again, relationship goals, like whoever, 9 times out of 10, they relationship goals ain't relationship goals. Like, y'all need to know that.
No, they're not.
Y'all need to know that.
Please.
Y'all are living in a farce when it comes to living in TV land and what these people are doing online. All of that shit. Right. You know, it's a pretty picture. It's a really pretty picture, but real relationships take work.
And you got to have faith and let go of the fear. You're going to have bumps in the road.
Right. And that's all part of that, talking about what happened in the past stuff. Like all that being scared or whatever. You're going to be scared. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be apprehensive.
You're going to scare yourself out of something good.
Don't self-sabotage.
Exactly.
Because we all definitely self-sabotage. I've had many self-sabotaging moments. For example, somebody told me the other day, I don't know how to take compliments. Man, I swear, I never realized that. Then when a guy say I'm pretty, the first thing I say is, no, I'm not. I look terrible today. Man, say thank you. Yeah. Say thank you and take that compliment.
Take that compliment. Yeah.
Take that compliment. And whatever it is you thinking in your head about yourself that's negative, throw that shit in the trash. Yeah. Throw it in the trash.
Throw it out.
You know, like, we got to love on ourselves more.
We have to.
Love on yourself more before you're trying to love everybody else.
We have to. That's the key.
Be kind to yourself. Like, we don't do those things, and we expect everybody else to do all that for us. You got to do it, and it starts here first.
Yeah, it starts from, it starts here. It starts here with you first. You got to work. You got to love yourself first. Once you understand yourself and you know yourself and you true to yourself to where you can love yourself, then the person outside can see that. They'll be able to pick up on it.
Right. And I think like all those insecurities, you know, we weigh a mound of insecurities on things that really, man, sometimes if you, like he say, just let go, it'll be so much easier for you.
So much easier.
So much easier for you.
Yeah.
I have freed myself by just forgetting the things. And it's not saying that I actually forget, to be honest with you, but I let all the stuff in my past take a back seat to what's in my future.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
All that stuff because that stuff has happened. It's nothing I can do about it. And if it is, if I'm not working towards that, I'm working on that. So why do we even need to hash any of that out?
And then guess what? You still here after the storm.
So Nikki said, let's see. Nikki said, folks talk about relationship goals, but haven't had a clue of what goes into one. And they don't know what goes into one. Man.
Don't know what it took for them to get to where they at the post relationship goals.
Or, man, y'all don't know what these folks work on, go through counseling, trials, tribulations, fallouts, fall in love, fall out of love. And so many things can transpire in order to give you what looks like the perfect relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
It's all about, perception, and you can't be living looking at other people's window.
You can't.
You need to be worrying about keeping your own house.
That's right.
It's the best way to live. Keep your own house. Don't worry about what go on in other people's relationships, because more times than not, they ain't worried about what the hell going on with you.
Sure ain't.
Nor are they going to help you grow and cultivate yours.
That's
you got to grow and cultivate your own.
You got to grow and cultivate your own. That's it. That's the only way it's going to work.
You know what, Nikki? I can see that. So my homegirl said, she said, people look at her because she was in the church and her ex-husband was a pastor. You find that people will definitely judge you. I could understand that, but you know what? Not just people in the church judge. People outside of the church judge. These folks out here are the most Judy ass people I've ever seen in my life.
Everybody judge.
Everybody think they know.
And don't have a clue.
But if we all collectively came together with some bits and pieces of information, I bet you we could come up with a playbook.
Of course.
One person is not going to be the gatekeeper of all information. Through your experiences, you may be able to add and give me some information on what I can do. But man, your relationship does not set the tone for every relationship in the world.
At all.
And that goes for me, for you, and anybody else. Like, our relationships with said individuals do not set the tone for every relationship that is going to occur in your life.
At all.
It doesn't.
At all. Our relationships are different. All of them are different.
What one may not do, another one will.
Yep, that's right.
For all the things you hated about one, you'll love about the other one.
Sure will.
It happens.
Sure will.
It happens. Man, things that I said, again, like how you were talking about deal breakers. It's been 1,000 deal breakers I done had, but the right person will make all that shit not a deal breaker.
Not a deal breaker, yeah. That's true. That is so true. Oh, that's
the right person will make it all not a deal breaker. You be over there negotiating like hell. You be like, know what?
Yeah, you know what?
That's not even a problem anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can settle for this
because
he's cool. You know what I mean? Or she's straight.
I'm gonna give it a pass.
Man,
she made up for it. Yeah.
It's been,
of course.
I get a lot of flack about not always dating like what people consider to be aesthetically pleasing. You know what I'm saying? If you, I won't call nobody ugly, but you know what I mean? But man, I've dated, to me, what were some of the most beautiful people based on what they had in their heart and in their head, man.
Right.
And those relationships were better than them superficial relationships when I was dating the pretty boys and shit.
Yeah.
The pretty boys was treating me like trash, y'all.
Yeah. I done dated a few women. I done had a lot of them more like either out of marriage situations or just single. I think the last crazy date I had was the 60-year-old woman. And
nigga,
she was obsessed.
Wait, well, excuse me, y'all. 60? We'll talk about that.
I didn't know. I had one thing about me now.
You already dating mama.
Let me tell y'all something. One thing about me now, the fact that I'm back out here, I'm very leery on who I date. So
tell us about the 60-year-old. What was that like?
What happened was I'm out and about. I'm hanging out one night, and I was in a club. I was in a little nightclub, and noticed this female standing beside me, just laughing because I'm talking shit and just carrying on. So I offered to buy her a drink, and the bar was closed.
Okay.
So we left this spot and went to another spot, and I bought her a drink, and we sat down and we had conversation. Okay,
did she look 60? Obviously she didn't look 60 because there is no way.
60 years old with no kids. She was bad.
Oh, wow.
She'll look her. She was bad. But
okay.
She was bad. I'm talking about driving Maserati, the whole 9.
Nice.
Yeah. So after we leave the bar, after buying her a drink, she was hungry. So we sat at IHOP till daylight, ordering some food. And just sitting outside having a conversation, just eating food. And just chopping it up, conversating. So we finally went out probably a couple of days later. We done hung out on 2 or 3 occasions. And we finally went out on that date. And the date wasn't even a big date. Like we went down to Landmark Diner.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
After a night out, just hanging out with each other.
We just went to the diner and chill. See, y'all, simple dates.
Yeah, but the fact that, everything was cool, the vibe was cool, but then the questions started coming. Well, are you ready to have a relationship? I'm like, baby, it's too early. I just met you. Like, come on.
Take note, y'all.
Like, I just met you, baby. Like, let me
get to know you and chill. Right.
Let me work my way in and get to know you. And if things are right, then we can probably identify ourselves as a couple. But I'm not. This is not no easy bake oven.
Instant ramen a relationship. No, okay. So 60-year-old women are out here wanting instant ramen relationships too. Then So it's not just because I was wondering if it was like the 40+ demographic. Now my homegirl says girl, you dating a 63-year-old? Holy shit, y'all are wild.
Listen. These motherfuckers 55+ is out here.
I didn't know. I'm not aware. Listen, y'all are telling me something I had no idea.
She got a body, man. She don't even look 60.
That is so crazy.
I got a picture.
But
I'm gonna have to show it to you.
So basically, the questions basically threw you off, and so that was what I was wondering, right? So that's that establishing the title shit. So wanting a title, wanting to know where you're going. Now, I mean, I get like asking what you're looking for, right?
Right.
Because I would ask, and that's definitely a question. I'm gonna ask what you're looking for. We on a date and we trying to get to know each other. I know I'm dating with a purpose. I want to know if you dating with a purpose.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if she asked you that, would it have been better that she asked you if you dating with a purpose as opposed to what you trying to do?
Right.
So that seemed aggressive.
It was. And
he
then,
said it was.
And then after the fact, we were still hanging out.
Right.
But the fact that, I don't mind calling, talking every day. I don't mind that.
Well, yeah, you should be able to.
That's consistency.
Right.
Consistency. I look for
that. I was going to say, I definitely look for that.
I look for consistency. But at the same time, clinginess. The clinginess is cool.
See, I think that's the I like you more than you like me shit. So here's the thing. What do you do when you like somebody more? Because you got to taper it. I guess you got to hold it. And like, you can't tell them you like them as much as you like them because that sucks.
And she was so obsessed I felt like she was so obsessed with me because every time we was in person, she would always kissing on my ear. She would kissing on my neck. She was just touching my face.
60-year-old women be trying to get it
and
in,
she was
y'all.
just like, oh, you just so sexy and pulling on my beard.
Oh, she was trying to give you the cookies.
But she ain't gave up the cookies in 3 years.
Oh, that's weird. Well, why she doing all the sexually?
Because
that's like slightly sexually charged. Don't be touching me on my ears and shit.
She was just so obsessed with me being handsome and just attractive to where it was like she seen a ghost.
Right.
Like she was on me. Like if
that would be a turnoff. Yeah, I would be scared. I would be scared. That would freak me out.
This was the turnoff right here. This was the turnoff. This was the turnoff right here.
Okay.
Let's say I'm out. Me and her is out, right?
Okay.
I run to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna speak to you. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. We're not together.
Right.
But we're out.
Right.
Hey, how you doing? Right. I'm gonna give you greet.
Right. Salutations and
I'm gonna introduce you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go from there. But then once we do that and we walk away, she put on the scene. Oh, you gonna respect me. You ain't finna have no women around me.
Oh, mama said you got me.
I said, hold on, baby.
First of all, the lady out in public, she just speak to you. So somebody can't speak to you and you speak and exchange pleasantries. See, that be that scary stuff. Yeah. Man, y'all don't be overbearing.
And we're not a title.
Right, and you just kind of trying to see each other, trying to get enough. Yeah, that's extra. That's super extra. Now, see, here's what I found. This is just me. So I dated a guy. was a little bit older. It only lasted, as you know, for a couple of days.
Right.
Because, man, one, the clingy stuff, like, I get that. I'm big on personal space. Y'all, if y'all got like things that you don't want people doing in the beginning, you should probably tell them. Because I don't like, okay, so y'all see how close me and Lo sitting right now? I don't necessarily like it. I'm gonna do it because we need to do it because we're on camera. So like, again, personal space, man. Okay, so this man wants to cuddle. We lay and we cuddle. Well, after it get hot a little bit, your legs start sweating some. I want to move.
You want to move, of course. Yeah.
He don't want to move. He don't move. I'm thinking to myself, you know, like, there has to be a disengaging point. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And you're right. Back to what you were talking about this lady. Nikki said that old girl was jealous and that shit's unhealthy at any stage in a relationship. It is most definitely unhealthy. And the fact that that lady wouldn't allow you to speak to other people in public that were, you know, just out.
Right.
Definitely wasn't going to be a good thing, man.
And then Nikki also did a background check on this lady, and she's been married twice.
See, them the red flags I'm talking about.
Yep.
Ooh. So
she been married twice.
So, y'all, it's not to say that a failure in a marriage is a bad thing, right? Or I don't even count my divorce as a failure in a marriage. We just need to part ways.
All like, divorces aren't failures.
No, and this wasn't that. But what I'm saying is, if y'all meet these people and they've been married several times, like, let me tell you, my ex-husband got an auntie named Sherry, and she been married 7 times. There's something wrong with Sherry. It ain't nothing wrong with them people. At some point, when nobody stays, man, when you like the ASPCA and you can't find a forever home, your ass can't find a forever home, something wrong. At some point, that's what we all out here desire to date, or at least us dating with a purpose desire to date, to find a forever home. Exactly. Man, you done had 8 forever homes and you ain't stayed nowhere?
Nowhere.
Something wrong with that.
For real.
Something wrong with that.
And I mean, Shawty had it going on. Got a 5-bedroom house.
Well, you know, you said she got a Maserati, but she clearly has mental issues. If she a 60-year-old woman, and see, that's another, you don't count that as a flag, but I count it as a flag. When you 60, unless you got reproductive issues and you ain't got no children, I'm going to look at you kind of weird.
Retired from Fulton County, working with Fonnie Willis and Paul Howard. Like, she got the credentials. But
Nikki, yes, Sherry is the common denominator. After 7 marriages that do not work and nobody stays, man, you got a problem. Now, I'm going to say this. The older guy that I just actually ended up interacting with and went out on a date with, you know, that motherfucker had been married twice. And I should have known that, you know what I'm saying, that was like a flag. But I thought to myself, and this is all that hopeful thinking, right? You just think to yourself, man, something was probably wrong with them because he fine. And you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, he got his shit together, man. That nigga was crazy.
Not knowing,
crazy.
And what people, like, I hate to say this, but men, I ain't gonna say all men, but men look at stuff like that. They pay attention to every detail. Not just men, women do too. Man,
I done seen dudes that say crazy stuff like, okay, so I had an example of some weirdness with a guy. Guy would not talk to me because he knew my ex. So
that's out of respect.
But no, it wasn't his friend. This somebody you went to high school with. And so you don't respect the dude.
It ain't that
you went to school with? I'm like, what is the problem?
It's not that. I'm gonna tell you my perspective on that. My perspective is this: me and that guy might be cool. We might not have had no bad blood with each other, but the fact that he see that I'm dealing with you, you know what I'm saying? He might not say nothing to me directly about it, but what if he's still in communication with you? He gonna say some slick shit to you about me without telling me.
See, I don't like that. Sounds messy. Y'all think like that?
Yes, I do. I don't
That's
play that.
Messy.
I find out you dealt with somebody I know. Oh no, you automatically off limits. We ain't got nothing to talk about. I hate it. I hate to be that way, but that's real.
We too old for that though. Like, no, you're gonna date somebody possibly that somebody may have been with that you may know.
But you still have to keep that rule in effect because
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yes, I do. That's how I move.
Shit.
I move strategically. I don't just jump for anything. I pay attention.
I don't consider that necessarily jumping for anything.
Nah,
though.
but still, you never.
Because it's not like y'all. Okay, so this would be like, okay, just think of this.
Mm-hmm.
So you and Janelle.
Yep.
And she got a partner, and I talk to her partner, right?
Okay.
And say I break up with her partner,
mm-hmm.
and then there's another friend of yours.
Okay.
And I talk to that friend. Just because these two niggas know each other, we ain't in the same social circle. I don't think that should matter.
Okay, if y'all,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, if y'all not in the same social circle,
and some of these dudes don't be in the same. That's what I'm saying. Dude wasn't in the same social circle. He just happened to go to school when he was older than him. How you gonna not date somebody because of that? That doesn't make sense.
But still, I'm telling you this from a man's perspective, and I've seen this happen.
I understand. My homegirl said that y'all just don't like to imagine your homeboy or whoever have possibly been in your chick, and I feel like
that's she right, but there's more to it than just that. I witnessed this. This is why I'm telling you.
Okay.
I've dated women to where the dudes, I knew them. Now we might not be in the same social circle, but we know each other.
Okay.
When we see each other, we speak. We know each other.
Right.
At the same time, he might not be talking bad about me to me in my face, but guess what he's doing? He telling the baby mama everything about me.
But then don't she have to do diligence to stop that? Because
she do.
Because that's stupid.
But
she should stop that because I wouldn't stand for that.
But at the same time, he gonna say what he gonna say because he don't expect me to be with the chick that he dealt with. He don't expect that.
Y'all are so petty.
No, I'm not
so
petty.
That is super petty. Man.
Listen,
it's definitely ego, sis. It's definitely ego. There's a male ego involved in this part of the equation.
But that's just how I move. I'm telling you, because it didn't happen to me.
I get it. I'm that's why I'm asking. Okay, so I had this dude. He basically was like, Shannon, I'm just gonna be honest with you. He was like, no man ever wants to imagine that the chick that he been with is been pleased better by their partner.
Yep.
He don't want to imagine that coming on that dude dick and all that crazy shit. And I was like, really? That's how y'all feel about things?
Yeah, because you don't understand. These dudes, how y'all women gossip about the niggas that y'all deal with. Trust me, these niggas gossip the same way. Oh man, he fucking such and such baby mama, man.
That is so this basically, this kind of debunks a myth, right? That men and women are different.
Yeah.
Then really it's not, and y'all are emotional because that is definitely not just ego, that's emotion.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. That's why, like with Janelle, like me and Janelle, we met each other in the streets because we both was in the street. But honest, like realistically, like I can honestly say we was a perfect match.
Right.
Because we basically knew each other, we got along, we hung around the same people. And I knew some of the people that she dealt with, but I wasn't really just in that I wasn't in that circle.
Hold on. My homegirl just said you might miss your blessing by moving like that. And
as
that
far as
by counting it's because it's not, it's preference. By preferring not to entertain people that possibly have maybe been with someone in said social scene that is the same, you may end up cutting yourself short on somebody that may be for you.
She might have a valid point, but at the same time, I'm just exclusive. I feel like I'm just exclusive,
and that's okay. But then think about it. What if you end up having to dumb down your standard because you decided that somebody who was holding the standard that you like had been with somebody else that not necessarily you even mess with like that. You snub yourself for, you say, you snub yourself for a relationship. I know, okay, so we're going to circle back. The dude who said all of that shit that I was telling y'all about, the one that said that he wouldn't want to talk to me because of my ex, ended up talking to me in the end.
Okay.
And of all things, felt stupid as hell after the fact because he was like, you cool as hell. And I don't know why I said all that, and I'm worried about this dude. I'm like, shawty, I ain't trying to be funny, but my ex will fuck your girlfriend, so I don't understand why you trying to be worried about, you know, bothering with me, because he not gonna treat you with that same courtesy. Likewise, people might not treat you with that same courtesy. But if that's just your standard, that's just your standard. I understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, I never, like, honestly, I dealt with a few women in high school. It was after high school. So, like, you know, what goes on after high school is after high school. That's what goes on. But I just always never put myself in that mix like that. I've always wanted to see something different.
Right.
So, while everybody's sleeping with the same people in this one school, I'm branching
you over
out.
Here
I'm over
another one.
I'm branching out.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm branching out.
I know that we have been on for an hour, y'all. I hope y'all have enjoyed what we have given y'all.
Yes.
We're going to do this on a regular basis because I feel like this is dialogue that needs to be had. If you enjoyed it, shoot us a heart. Let me know. We'll probably be coming back on live to do some more relationship talk. But if y'all got other topics that y'all feel like we should talk about, I mean, there's just so much men versus women information, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much just dating aspect information. I definitely want to come back and just have a round table, man, so we can hash some of this shit out.
Yeah, because
let's hash it out.
Right, because the fact that we're older, we're supposed to be on top of our game when it comes to life. We should not have nothing in front of us this small to be so complicated
that we can't get it right. Where everybody can't find because there is a way and there is a formula to being able to find a partner.
Of course.
And one that will be a lasting relationship. One that is an important relationship that is valuable to you. And you all deserve that. We deserve that.
We all do.
We deserve that. But we got to figure out how to get it right.
You got to love yourself first.
Yeah, and then
you got to love yourself first. Please love yourself first. Whatever it is you're hurting from, take time out to heal. And once you heal, it's very important.
Yeah, man. Hug yourself tight, and make yourself talk your best talk. We are going to be out of here. I hope y'all enjoy. Have a good night.
It's your boy Los Do the Most signing out. Thank y'all again. Like I say, you can follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us at on Facebook at Talkdatshit TV 2021. You can go to Instagram, follow the Talkdatshit TV 2022 with underscores in between each word. You can follow her at Reservoir Broad on Instagram.
Yes, or you can follow me at my restaurant, the Vegan Faction _ATL. That's right. Is the Vegan FACTION _ATL.
And she got good eats, trust me.
I do.
She got great eats.
My food for everybody, y'all.
Yes, Lord. I got to get around there and see it myself.
And we'll premiere some of that for y'all next time.
Yes.
We out of here.
Yes, sir. This is your boy Los Do the Most, and I'm signing out. Y'all be easy.